thanks so much. Well, as you say, some developing news coming out of Doha in what has already been an astonishing week in diplomacy and the art of deal foreign policy that Donald Trump has been driving. As Donald Trump was leaving Doha, we sat down exclusively with one of the leaders of Hamas here in Qatar. And don't forget, they have a political office here, and this is really a contact point for the international community, for Hamas. And we know since the beginning of this week that the United States and Hamas were in talks, but it wasn't clear if it was through an intermediary like Qatar or Egypt, or whether they were in direct talks, or whether Hamas officials were directly talking to the Trump administration. In that exclusive interview that I did, it was confirmed that Hamas is in fact talking directly to the Trump administration, and they were very well, I guess cautiously optimistic and positive in their tone about how Donald Trump was handling the situation here in the Middle East, whether it was meeting Ahmed al-Sharaa, the president of Syria, yesterday and lifting sanctions, or whether it was trying to bring about a nuclear deal with Iran, or trying to prevent the Houthis in Yemen from launching rockets. They said that they felt that Donald Trump had the will and the capability to bring about a peaceful and a ceasefire in Gaza. Let's just have a listen to what he had to say. Are you willing to hand over all the hostages to bring an end to the bloodshed?
We have said it for all the mediators and for the Americans. We are ready to hand over all the prisoners immediately if we can be sure that this will lead to an end of this war, and first and foremost to allow the humanitarian aid to get into Gaza. If these two conditions are fulfilled, again, to allow aid to get into Gaza and to reach an end, to guarantee an end of this war or genocide, yes, we are ready to hand over all the prisoners.
Are you telling the Americans this directly now?
Yes.
What are you saying to them? That these are the things that you want? And are you getting, or do you get a sense that you're getting a positive response from them?
We have told them this proposal or comprehensive approach, one-shot prisoner exchange, ending the war, total withdrawal of the Israeli forces, allowing all the aid to get into Gaza, and rebuilding of Gaza Strip without forceful immigration, through the mediators and directly through some persons in the U.S. administrations. Sometimes we received a positive response.
Do you have faith in the American teams and delegation that you're talking to, that they too want to achieve an end to the conflict and be able to negotiate between the two sides?
Look, we believe that President Trump has done a lot of work and hard work in different areas in this region and outside the region. We have seen it in Ukraine, we have seen it in Syria, we have seen it in Yemen. And by adopting negotiations with Iran to solve this conflict, to de-escalate the tensions everywhere and to reach a more peaceful world. I think this is what is motivating us to continue contacting the American administration, regardless of the team, because we believe that he has done it and he can do it. And I think President Trump has the capability and the will to reach this peaceful situation.
That was Dr. Basem Naim, a senior official from Hamas, speaking to me a little earlier from here in Doha. And of course, as we've been reporting over the course of the last few days, the violence, the war in Gaza continues. Israel continues to insist that unless all of their hostages have been released, they're not going to stop the bombardment, they're not going to stop the airstrikes. And for its part, Hamas says that they need to get aid back into the territory, and they're not going to hand the hostages back until there is guarantee that all Israeli forces are going to withdraw from the territory. Let's just have a listen to my exchange with Dr. Basem Naim about the humanitarian crisis and the death toll in Gaza, as well as the fact that they still have 50 or so Israeli hostages in Gaza. Have a listen. We're seeing demonstrations in Gaza. We're seeing people frustrated after 19 months of conflict that Hamas has brought on them.
Yes, I respect all people who are going to the street to say yes for Hamas or no for Hamas, because we have seen half of the Israeli population in the streets against Netanyahu. We are still seeing hundreds of thousands of people demonstrating against Trump president. We don't see that we are representing all Palestinians. We believe that we are still representing a vast majority of Palestinians.
If we go to the heart and the core of what has caused this latest devastation on the Palestinian people, 19, 20 months ago.
The occupation since 75 years is the cause of all this devastation.
But October 7 of this current devastation,
it is not October 7.
60,000 people dead as a result of October 7.
Because we have October 6, a lot of Palestinians were killed. We have before October 6.
60,000 people in the space of 20 months.
Okay, between 2000 and 2023.
And that is because of October 7. And the Israelis say they will not stop until their hostages are released, until Hamas disarms itself and says that it no longer wishes to be the governing power.
Why not? First of all, again, as occupied people, we have all the right to resist the occupation by all means, including armed resistance.
So you won't disarm?
Let me continue. If you ask someone to be disarmed, it has to be the Israelis who have all the power, the chemical power, the nuclear power, the biological power, and all the support from the West, including the Americans, to destroy the Palestinian life, like what we have seen along the 17 months.
That you still have 50 or so of their hostages that you haven't released, and it is in your gift, it is in your power to release them. If Hamas hands the hostages over, if they disarm and they, basically disappear from Gaza, they will end this conflict. Is that something that Hamas is willing to do?
We are ready to go for one session to release all the captured Israelis and in return to get some of our prisoners, but with the guarantees that we are going to reach an end of this war, total withdrawal of the Israeli forces.
That was Dr. Basem Naim speaking to me there. Now, in response to that exclusive interview, the White House National Security Council spokesperson gave us this statement. He said, Hamas has not demonstrated that they are serious about peace, and the president has been clear Hamas must lay down their arms. Hamas continues to wrongfully hold hostages, including American bodies, in the dungeons of Gaza, who could easily be freed and have shown no changes in behavior to indicate they will cease to attack civilians. But we did ask them if to confirm what Hamas was saying about being in direct talks with the administration. They haven't responded to that, but have continued to remain stern about the fact that Hamas has 50 or so Israeli hostages in their captivity in Gaza. So we will be following these developments, including some of the statements that President Donald Trump made earlier today, where he said that he wanted to turn Gaza into a freedom zone. He said the US should take it and turn it into a freedom zone. He also was incredibly stern about Hamas, and he said they needed to be dealt with. But we know behind the scenes now, based on what Hamas is saying, that the United States and Hamas are in direct talks. You can, of course, see the extended version of my interview with Hamas at 9 p.m. on The World, on my show tonight. But for now, Jane, back to you.